every person and not just because you're in Alberta. Privacy, right? Who gets our personal information? And specifically, not just like our names and addresses and phone numbers, but what about who gets to know how you voted? Just you, right? Now, I'm a firm believer that voting is very, very, very important. In fact, in my house, for my kids, when you turn 18 and you vote for the first time, we get a cake because, and I don't ask how they vote. I don't, I mean, I care, but I don't care. I just care that they vote. I want everybody to vote. If you're going to go and vote UCP again, please just go and vote because our government isn't a true representation of the people if the people don't vote. And I think that if every person in the province voted, maybe things would be different. Maybe not, depends on the different groups and polls you look at. But that's not what I'm here about today. So, what has happened is, and I'm paraphrasing, Elections Alberta, who of course does have the rights to have all of our information, and they're the ones who analyze it, and they're the ones who say this percentage of people voted for this person, and that's right how we determine our winners. Right? They're the legal final line. They're the ones who make it all work. So they do have our information. And there are people who have access to it. Political parties do have access to it. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I guess depends what they're using it for. Right. So, I mean, if the UCP caucus, which isn't a UCP party, is using it to mass text questions about a survey, um, did that happen? Oh, yeah, a few weeks ago. Yeah, no, I have a problem with that. But I actually have a bigger problem with this. So here is what happened. The a political party has shared all of the voter information, all of it, your name, your address, your phone number, as it was current when you voted, and how you voted with the separatist referendum group. They have made an app which is searchable. So they could like look up Airdrie East and then they could type in my name, or am I West? I don't know. They could type in my name and they would find out that I didn't vote UCP, right? Um, why does that matter? Because private citizens have an app where they can search how you voted. Now, Elections Alberta has gone and put an injunction in it. Police attended a meeting, they've served the paperwork. It's been taken down as far as I know. Um, but the fact that it happened, there is an app created with all of the voter information, including who you voted for, in existence here in Alberta right now. That's a problem. Now, okay, why would the referendum people care? Let's think about it. Well, they probably want to go and target areas for signatures that are going to be more favorable. That makes sense to me. And sweeties, we did that too. So as a person who was involved in the Angela Pitt recall campaign, we did too. But what we did was we used the information that's publicly available. So basically it can like to a polling station, it's like this percentage voted NDP, this voted UCP, this voted. So we were able to kind of see that certain neighborhoods perhaps would be more friendly to us knocking on their doors, right? Because we want to get signatures. That's the point of this. And we don't want to be confrontational. We want to have good conversations. So, especially since we're sending out volunteers, we absolutely looked at how sort of the electoral results had come in when we decided where we'd go canvassing, right? That was just the best use of our time. But we didn't have access to your name or your phone number, your email, your address, or how you actually voted. So I don't know that the person living at 1082 voted NDP and the person at 1084 voted UP. We didn't have information that specific, and we did not need it. I don't understand why the separatists would need more specific information than the rest of us, right? The way referendum rules work is a little bit different than recall petitions. I acknowledge that. But at the same time, what we're doing is the same thing. We're gathering signatures for a cause. And yes, you may want to go and to neighborhoods that are going to be favorable for you, but you don't need access to everybody's personal data. Like, it just blows my mind that this is even happening. So, what do we do about it? I have no freaking clue. What do you do when the government in power is sharing personal information with people who want to try and, well, what they want to do is make our province its own country? Clearly not in favor of it myself for lots of reasons, like Indigenous rights and treaties, the Constitution, other agreements we have with the Crown. Oh, and the fact that everything they say about how it will work and how you will benefit is a lie, right? If you do the math, and I mean, I swear, I count to four for a living. I'm a conductor, right? I'm telling you, the math isn't mathing. Um, Smarter people than me will tell you the math isn't mathing. So those are the people who want to become a 51st state, some of them too. Um, they have your information right now. There's an app. It exists. There's also a legal injunction, so the app cannot be shared and used and whatever, but I don't know where it's at. What can we do? So there's talk, lots of chatter, class action cases. Yeah, I haven't delved into the research yet. I'm just sitting here in a sweltering hot car, which is nice for a change after being in freezing cold cars while my kid's working out. And I thought, it'll pop on now while I have a second. People watching, do you have any idea what we can do about this legally? And for those of you asking where I'm at, I'm in Alberta, Canada. We are still a province in the country of Canada, and I really hope we stay that way. But there is a movement by a small portion of our province to have us separate. Didn't work for Quebec, won't work for us. It is absolutely insane. And the government has our voting information and they've shared it with the separatist party who is trying to get their signatures, as they have the democratic right to do, and I support that, right? I think everybody has a right to express their views democratically and politely. I mean, there's no reason to not have polite discourse. But they know how I voted. They know how you voted if you live in Alberta. How do you feel about that? Throw it in the chat. If you have ideas about what we can do as citizens to stop this from happening again, to hold the private citizens, because it's private citizens who created the app, it's not the government. So if we can't hold our government accountable, the very least we can do is hold the individuals accountable. And I've seen a name, but I'm not going to share it here just yet. I want to go and read through some of the indictment paperwork in that myself, which I haven't had a chance to do before I start talking about specific people and things, because that's just being fair. I try not to talk about things I actually don't know about, right? So if I don't know something, I'm going to tell you, and I don't know what we should do about this. Um, Love to hear your thoughts, and I'm going to chime in on this again in a day or two when I know a little bit more and I've had some time to do some research. But welcome to Alberta. Like, yeah, fun times, right? The horrors persist, yet so do we. So